Hello YouTube, it's Louise, the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Hello, welcome. Welcome back to my little part of the internet and welcome back to Yarn Chat. Yes. Hello, how are you? Are you having a good day? I am sat lower than normal. If you're just coming in and thinking, why doesn't it look quite right? It's because I'm actually sat lower. I'm actually in a different chair, on a different chair, in a different chair, on a different chair. So I'm actually in the chair that normally lives in our bedroom because I was in here for a bit yesterday and the kitchen chair that I normally sit on got really uncomfortable. Even though I pad it out with cushions, I got really uncomfortable. I think it's because I was concentrating on stuff. That's what I was concentrating on. And I just thought, I need a more comfy chair. So I've borrowed the bedroom chair, which is lower. But it is really nice and comfy, and I spent many a happy hour in here yesterday. How are you? I don't know. I've got the window open. It's actually warm enough and sunny enough to have the window open. I don't know whether you can hear it. We've got the birds tweeting. We've also got the frogs making frog noises. So there's a pond just outside our window down there in our garden, and at this time of the year the frogs appear and they make their frog noises as they make frog babies. Yes, the first time I was like, oh, what are the frogs? Oh, it's like a nature program just outside the window. Yes, so this morning, because it's warm, they're all there. We had a really cold week. I mean, nothing like what other people have in the world. I realise that, but for us, we've had quite a cold week. And now the sun is out and they're able to have the window open and let some of the fresh air in. So yeah, it's lovely, lovely. So it's Sunday morning here. I'm doing it quite early because I thought I'd sit down with you and show you what I've been up to. I've got a knitting thing, I've got a crochet thing, and I've got a new thing. Actually, I've had it a while, but I've not shown it on here. So that's my new thing. So I've got a new thing as well. I've also got, instead of the candle that I normally light, I have got my my wax melt burner. So I have a ceramic wax melt burner, which I haven't lit yet. So I just thought I'd show you it because, not just because, well, we like these kind of things, don't we? So I just thought I would show you what this is. So I got this from Etsy because I have a candle holder that a friend bought me with a beautiful goddess symbol on it. And it's this kind of blue. And I thought they were similar. So I bought this ceramic wax melt burner, is that what you call it, from Etsy. It was something like £6. I mean, it was ridiculously cheap for what it is. It has got kind of crazy cracks on it, but I just think it's lovely and beautiful and ceramic. And so it's actually got, I melted some wax on it yesterday from the wax melt, and I've just put a tea light in. These tea lights are slightly deeper than normal, so they last longer, because I was noticing that the others were lasting super quick. So let's light the light, let the light in. There we are. Bring the light in, and I'm just going to pop it on under there. Excuse me. And that will burn that will melt the wax. And the wax melts I use, just because I think they're amazing. I saw them on Instagram, and I don't know, this was in kind of October, November time, and I waited and waited and waited until January, and then I ordered some, and I've ordered some of their, open the box, and the smell is amazing. I ordered some from Northern Soul Scents is what it's called, Northern Soul Scents. I'll leave the link down below. No sponsor or anything like that. It's just I really like them, and I thought, we like these kind of things. We like candles and what have you. And I also did their subscription box. Now, I think it's £12 a month. And it comes in a little box like this. So I ordered some of their wax melts, but I also ordered the subscription box. And it comes in a little box like this, second class. And this was this month's. So celebration of spring collection, spring fever. That is one good thing about this world. There is always sure to be more springs. L.M. Montgomery. So that's what it says. And then you get kind of 2 sachets of 6 melts each. So there's 12 melts in here. And let me show you the 2 that we got. Crinkly. So this is the one that I'm burning. They're soya blend. And it comes, they look gorgeous. Look at that. They're so tactile. They're so smooth. And this is Flower Market. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's lovely. And what it says is, evoke the feeling of strolling through a flower market on a sunny day. A beautiful mix of jasmine, rose and sweet peony with the base notes of musk and raspberry. And I just think it is beautiful. The husband said that he thought the jasmine was a bit strong, but that's just personal taste. He's not such a floral lad. And then the other one, again soy blend, is honey and hay. So a scent to evoke the smell of springtime in the British countryside. Sweet honey and pollen mixed with the scent of wheat fields and hay bales on a base of magnolia flower. And that's what it looks like. Yeah, and I wondered how they were going to do that, but you do really get the scent of honey and hay. It is quite amazing. Out of the 2 of them, I prefer the Flower Market, I think, and the husband prefers honey and hay. So I had honey and hay downstairs, and then I thought, well, I'll try the Flower Market up here, and it's amazing. I melted this yesterday for about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours when I was up here. And for the rest of the day, the whole of the upstairs had that slight scent of it. It wasn't too strong. It was just slightly strong. Well, it's slightly strong. You could just smell it. You can tell it's quite early and I'm not quite with it. And this is it. The flowers, the scent of the flowers just kind of lingered, but not so much that it was heavy. It was just really light and lovely, and just gave it that kind of just a kind of lift, without the smokiness of incense. We often have incense going downstairs, so without the smokiness of the incense. So I really like these. So this is why I kind of just thought I'd show you this. If you're in this, I don't know if they do worldwide. I'm sure they do. But they're really nice. I got Thunderstorm. I ordered that one, which I liked. The husband didn't really like. And then I got Bookshop. Of course I got Bookshop. And it was gorgeous. We've used quite a lot of it. But I find you don't have to do it really every day to benefit from the smells. You can kind of do it and then the smell will be lingering for at least a day to 2 days. So yeah, it's really lovely. It's just a different way, instead of having scented candle, to have wax melts. Yeah, I thought I'd just share that with you because I've just been loving them. This week I have been loving them. The last month actually. But in this one yesterday, I just was like, oh, it's gorgeous. So it's beginning to melt. Like, what can I hear? I can hear a cat outside crying, wanting to come in. Never mind, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. She either wants to come into my room or she wants to go in to see Ben. Oh yeah, starting to melt. Can you see? Oh, lovely. Anyway, there we go. Come in, sit down, help yourself to a drink. We've got tea and coffee. A breakfast mimosa. Should we have that? I don't think I've ever had a breakfast mimosa, but now I'm fancying it. What do we normally have in the morning? That's champagne and... Oh, Bucks Fizz. That's right, Bucks Fizz. I don't really like Bucks Fizz. I like champagne. I'm not a huge orange juice fan. Do you like orange juice? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like kind of orange juice. I'm not really a fruit juice kind of a person. I like fruit, but I don't really like fruit juice. Anyway, I'm now wittering. It's because it's first thing in the morning. I don't know what time it is. I should be way more awake than I actually am. I've been up for hours, but I suppose this is the first time sitting down chatting. Our first kind of yarn chat morning. So let's have tea and coffee. And for those people that don't want caffeine, I shall have decaffeinated coffee and we'll have breakfast pastries. Let's do that. Let's do that this morning. Yeah? Okay, lovely. So sit yourself down, grab yourself some crafting. Let's share what we've been doing. I'm going to start with my crochet thing because that's what you can see here. Oh, look at that. I posted these on Instagram. I think I posted it like that. But this is with its next layer on. So this is continuing on with the Spirit of Flora CAL by Jane Crowfoot. There's Jane wearing her blanket. And this is a year-long CAL, crochet along, in Inside Crochet. This is issue 155 and this is the second month. And this is the Merton Abbey Flower. So I've done that flower, done those 4, and we're now doing those. I don't think I'm going to put it together like this. This doesn't sing for me. I know it because of the tiles. I don't know. But that doesn't sing to me. And this one I'm not particularly keen on. And I don't think I'm going to do it. I was thinking about this because this is a CAL that, although, you could just follow it exactly, you can alter it. And I think I will always not particularly like that. I don't really like the way the colours are working. I can completely see why it looks like a tile, but I don't love it. So I was thinking about trying to do different colours, and I have seen other colours, other colour ways. But then I thought, what I'll do is I'll just do extra, like maybe 2 extra of 2 other ones, and then that will give me the 4. I think that's what I'll do. Or even 1 extra of 4. I'll do something, because I'm not going to put it together like that. She is apparently going to do a random design, and I think that's going to be more what I'm going to go for, because that doesn't sing for me particularly. Does it sing for you? Do you like it? Let me know. Anyway, Merton Abbey Flower. There it is. Do you know, I should get my blocker out. Can you see it? If I pull that out, everything will fall down on me, so I'm not going to pull it out. I've actually got a blocker up there, so next time I'll get my blocker out and I can actually put mine on a block like that. So yeah, so it's the Merton Abbey Flower, and this is as far as I've got. So this is up to round, and it seems to be that they're 12 rounds. No, you finish this and then you do a frame of it. It says. Yeah, so I do 9 rounds and then I do a frame. I'm not far off. What one am I on? This is round 7. So I've got another 2 rounds, it looks like. 2, maybe 3 rounds. There we go, if I can show you like that. Isn't it lovely? So pretty, and it's very 3D because you kind of build it up. I think the backs is fascinating because you get to see it in a different way. This is a really lovely construction. I recommend having a go of this one. I thought it was going to be tricky because 2 people had said once you get used to it, it's fine. So that made me think it was going to be a bit tricky. But I actually found this one just so far, delightful. Really lovely. I like the way she's made the leaves. And I don't know if you're like me, you know, you could be following a pattern and you still get it, you know, a tiny bit wrong. Especially the first time you do it. Maybe the second time you do it too. You get it a tiny bit wrong, and so you have to kind of, you know, add an extra chain or, yeah, add it as you're going along. But this, I didn't. I got it right. And so the next time, the next round I did, it just flowed because it was all correct. so it was so it worked very well. There we go. Really pleased with that so far. So I'm actually going to finish it. I would have done all 4. So what I'm doing is I do each round I do 4 times to make 4 motifs, because that's what you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to do a complete one and then do another complete one and another complete one, but I prefer doing the 4 rounds. So after I've done 1 round on 1 motif, I just carry it on. So I've got the last round to do on that one. And I would have done it yesterday, except I had said that I was going to go into town about 4:10. And the husband said, oh, I think, you know, is that all right if I join you? Because I quite fancy, I've got to get 1 or 2 bits of things. And I was like, yeah, of course, come along, come along. And he never goes into town at that time. He would always go in earlier. But I quite like going in at the late, kind of about 4, half 4. Just the local town, not Ely or Cambridge. And I quite like going in to towns at that time because everything's kind of quieting, you know, things are quieting down and people are going away, or people are going to go and like have an early tea or start having a cheeky drink or something like that. So it's a different feeling than kind of like serious, I'm out for a shop. So I like going into town about that time. Whereas the husband doesn't really do that. He's much more get up, go in, get everything done. So he was a bit impatient, even though it was kind of like, oh, we'll just wander in. No, he was ready to go. And I'd said I'd go at 4:10, and he appeared at the door at like 4:05. And I just thought, you know, I could just say it'll be another 5 minutes and do this, finish this one. But I thought, no, it's not worth it. You've got to pick your battles, and that was like, I just thought it's not worth it. It doesn't matter. I'll just do this tomorrow. So it goes against the grain for me because I'm a bit of a, you know, everything has to be completed in the same way. But never mind. I'll do that. After I've recorded this, I will probably sit and do that. And then my thing for today is to actually see if I can finish them. It's a lovely enough day that it would be really nice if we all fancied going for a walk. Do you fancy going for a walk? We could all just have a bit of a wander. I mean, nothing strenuous, but just have a bit of a wander. We have got a RSPB, Royal Society for Prevention or Protection of Birds, I think it is. I just know it's the RSPB. Yeah, protection of birds. Not prevention of birds, protection of birds. We've got a sanctuary. We've actually got 2 sanctuaries, one that way and one that way. And that way's quite close, and it's got like kind of some nice walks. So it might be worth just having a little outside, get some fresh air today. But yes, I would like to finish it. So that will be what it looks like. You can see I'm looking forward to doing that one and that one. Yeah. And the next edition comes out on the 16th. And motif 4 looks like that. And that looks fab. So I'm going to have I don't know whether I will have time this week. But that would be great. It'd be great just to see it. I can show it to you next week. You can have a flick through the magazine with me. We could have a flick through the magazine and have a look at that motif. So yeah, there we go. So that's my crochet thing. It's a bit messy behind me because I keep my yarn out because I'm substituting the yarn. So if anybody hasn't watched previous weeks, I'm following the CAL, but I'm not using the yarn that is, used to create the pattern in the magazine, because I don't have any of that at all. I don't have, it's Stylecraft Life, which is a mix of acrylic and wool. And I don't have any of that. I've used it in the past and didn't particularly like it and found it a bit splitty. Might be, it's probably just the way I crochet. So but I do have, oh, and Stylecraft Recreate. And again, I don't have any of that. So if I wanted to use the correct yarn, it would have cost like 60 odd quid to get everything in. And I had no urge for doing that when I have plenty of Stylecraft Special DK. So I'm substituting as I go along. So I've kept all my yarns aside. And as I start the pattern, I've been writing down all my substitutions. So you can see that I've written down all my substitutions. So I know what each yarn is, because in the pattern it doesn't say the colour, it just says yarn A, yarn B, yarn C. So and then I've laid it out in its order so that it makes it easier for me. So that's why that's still out there, and that's still a bit of a mess. I did actually buy myself a new hook. I bought another 4mm hook because it is my favourite with Special DK. It's my favourite size. So I got a new one because the other one that I only had one 4mm that's kind of ergonomic. That's what it says. That's what it is, isn't it? So it's shaped and it's really comfortable. So I can't remember what brand this was. But it was just off the internet. I got a couple of those so that I can have them about. Sorry, I've got to put this away. It's the lighter. Are you like me? You have to put things away. Yeah, so let's show you the knitting thing. I've got it in a very unglamorous bag. I might have to change this. This is what I've been taking to work on at lunchtime. When I have my salad. I have a salad. Do you have the same thing every lunchtime at work? I'm such a creature of habit. I think it's because then I don't have to think about it. I have a salad. I have a tiffin tin where I have three different compartments, and I have salad and a soya yogurt every day. And then I sit and I knit or I crochet, listening or watching something. And it's lovely. So I've got a very boring tote bag. I need to move it into a nicer bag. And this is my tank top that I'm knitting out of Stylecraft Recreate. There we go. Which is 100% recycled yarn. I'm doing it in colour ink. It's more, slightly less strong blue than it's showing on there. Slightly more faded. It is fleckled. Can you see? It's got little flecks. I can see flecks of red and darker blue and yellow. So it has that little fleckle. It's 40% wool, 30% acrylic, 30% polyester, all recycled. It's DK weight. It's quite soft. It's not as soft as this, which is 100% acrylic, and it has got a bit of toothiness to it, which is probably why it's being used in that pattern, because this is quite slippy and quite soft. And then I did think that the Stylecraft Life and Stylecraft Recreate, they are slightly more toothy, so they're probably going to sit slightly better. So I do understand why they're using that. Anyway, I'm doing a round neck tank top. That's the pattern name. Should you be interested? I showed it last time. I haven't got a picture of it because I got the electronic version. Got a download rather than buy, and then I print off the paper copy. Last week when I showed you this, I'm working on the front now. Last week when I showed you this, I realised I'd done it in the wrong needle size. It's got 2 needle sizes. It's 3.25 and then 4mm. And I had done the ribbing in the 4mm, so luckily I hadn't done that many rows. So after this, when I was watching this back before uploading it, I ripped it back and put it back on. I am mid-row, which is not very good. Let me get to the end of the row. Let us chat. We just have a little chat for a few moments. And if I just pull down a little bit, you can A, see my new jumper. Not sure about it. I'm not sure about it. So yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. Other people saying that they have body dysmorphia. They have that that can't work out their own body shapes either. And similarly, somebody said, "Yeah, I was tall. I was tall when I was younger. I developed early, and I was tall." And so somehow can't quite get to grips because perhaps clothes weren't automatic. You didn't fit naturally in a size, so you tended to have to buy different sizes to compensate. And it was interesting. I've seen a discussion this week through 1 or 2 vloggers that I watch on YouTube. You don't mind me just getting to the end of the row, do you? Yeah. So about clothing sizes and stopping saying what clothing sizes they wear because of the emotional attachment that people have to clothing size, which is, I think, absolutely true, because some people would never buy an item of clothing out of a particular size, and if they try it on and it doesn't work, I've got friends like that. If they try it on and it doesn't fit them, they would never get a bigger size, even though we know, logically we know, that the sizes aren't standard. They're not standardized. Everybody's size 16 is different, and what one person's 16 long is what one brand, another brand is completely different. So we know that, but there is this kind of you've got to be the perfect size, whatever it is. And yeah, I've seen some discussion about that, which is quite fascinating. While you're watching me, I'm just purling at the moment to just get to the end of the row. I knit in the English style, which means I throw. So you can see that my hand, if you're not a knitter, you won't know that, but you can see my hand actually leaves the needle and I throw. Now some people can do it and I can do it like that. I can throw and not leave, but if I do it unconsciously, so if I do it naturally, this is what I do. I grip both needles in my left hand and throw with my right. It was the way I learnt. I know you can teach yourself, and you can actually teach yourself to knit continentally, which is you hold the yarn. I can hear the cat crying to come in. Won't be long, Molly. She was in here, but she chose not to. Yeah, there we go. There we go. She chose to go out, and so you're going to have to wait, Molly. Yeah, so you can you hold the yarn in your left hand and you flick the yarn like that. But I'm fine doing it English. This is going to be too big. This is going to be too big. This is going to be too big. Anyway, there we are. That's what I'm up to. I've done the ribbing and I'm now working on the back pattern. I have, using stitch markers, marked off where the pattern goes. If I show you the back, you'll see that there is a cable design that runs down the middle of both the back and the front. That's the cable design, which will really pop once it's blocked. At the moment, it's not blocked. So that's the back. So I finished the back, and I'm now working on the front. So I have used my lovely toadstool, obsessed, toadstool stitch marker to mark which is the front and the back. And although if I look at it, it's very obvious, but it's that kind of like immediate kind of answer. And then I've used stitch markers to mark off. It doesn't say to do this. I just, find it easier to mark off where the change is. So it's stockinette, which means knit on one side, purl on the other side. And then using knits and purls, it's creating a pattern, and then there's cabling in the middle. Can you see the beginning of the cable design? I'm finding it actually easier to knit this now than I did. I think it's because the pattern is familiar and I can look at the cable pattern and pretty much know what the stitch should be. I'm not having to refer as much to the pattern, and so it is actually going quite quickly. So that's a week's worth. I'm on my second ball, and that's how much I've got left of the second ball, hence why I've got this. I did say it's going to take me 4 balls to do this size. I think it's going to be 3 and a bit rather than 4 balls. But yeah, I have got 4 balls. But so I'm using my interchangeable needles, my 4mm higher sharps, interchangeables, and then my 3.25 I actually used these Knit Pro Zings. So there we go. That's my knitting thing. And we managed to sit and have a knit. Oh yeah, I was telling you about my jumper, wasn't I? So yes, do you like my jumper? I just thought I'd get a brighter colour jumper. I'm not 100% sold on it. The husband thinks it looks lovely. I think he likes the colour. I'm not a huge pink fan, actually. I don't tend to wear pink at all. But the husband likes pink. And he was like, I think you look lovely. And I thought, I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to go and say, how nice that somebody thinks I look nice. And it's a bright, springy colour. It says, got lips on it. And it says, believe in love, which is very nice. My only thing is that it's very boxy and it's making me look, I did look a little bit like a blob yesterday. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and glides and slides across. That's a family song for us. We love that song. But it's also not quite long enough on the sleeve. So as soon as I do that, it shows. And I don't like that. I don't like 3/4 length sleeves. I like full length sleeves or short sleeves. I don't like the 3/4 length sleeves. And this is just constantly doing that. What I might do is I might knit a cuff or something and literally just wear it underneath it so that I don't get that kind of feeling of it riding up. But then I'm hoping that the sun is going to come out and it'll be almost too worn. It's a sweatshirty thing, a bit fleecy inside, but it's nice. I like it. A bit of something different, hey? Yeah, so there we go. We had the knitting thing, had the crochet thing, how we're doing for time. Let's get on to the new thing. The new thing I have to show you is this gorgeous book. It is dirty up there, and it came like that, and I can't be bothered to do anything about it. So this is Lula and her Amigurumi friends, a quirky club of crochet characters. How amazing are they? And it's Dasha and Kate's Granny's Crochet Hook. Now, Granny's Crochet Hook is what drew me to this, and that is on Instagram. And that's where I started to see these crochet designs. And they're just brilliant. They are quirky. They're a bit more advanced than kind of the Amigurumi that I've done. I think I'm going to have to get some more cotton. Though it's not saying it has to be cotton, but Amigurumi normally is better in cotton. Looks like it's fingering weight, not DK weight. And I think some of the stuff I've got is DK weight. No, it's all fingering. Let me show you some of the pictures in here. So this is Lula. Wow, look at that. She's just brilliant, isn't she? She's got her little teddy bear. She's a curious and kind-hearted girl. She loves to collect chestnuts and paint them to make necklaces. Oh, what an amazing... Who is this? What's her name? Mom. Oh, she's just fabulous, isn't she? So this is Lula's mum. My hair there. Isn't that amazing? So they're quite... I think it's going to challenge me a little bit, but I'm up for that. So as we're talking about with the Spirit of Flora CAL, oh my gosh, I wanted to stretch myself and improve my crochet skills. And the only way I'm going to do that is by doing more complicated designs and more complicated patterns. And this was actually bought with that in mind as well. So I can do amigurumi. So have I got anything here? I suppose I've got my gnome. Come on. Eek, eek, eek. Here he is. One of the first amigurumi things that I made was lots of these gnomes for Christmas. About, gosh, probably 2015. So that's kind of like nearly 8 years ago. So I made these amigurumi. These are hanjan. It's a hanjan pattern. They're not very straight. They're not, they don't sit very well. The pattern change has got a big jog in it, and I now know how to get rid of all of that kind of stuff that I didn't know how to do before. This is not very very securely attached, so he's not one of my finest, but he's one of my earlier pieces, and I think my skills are so much better now than when I made this chap and the ones that I've got about. But I am not up to that yet. So I'm going to give that a go. It's also the finishing touches. I think that's the bit I miss as well. I don't think my finishing touches are as clean as they could be. Look at those. What an amazing crew. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to be able to do some of these and then take some of the skills to create my own figures. And that's what they do suggest you can do. Yeah. So that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. There is another book as well, which is Sea Creatures. And that is as appealing to me. So yeah, that's my new thing. Dasha and Kate's Granny's crochet hook, Lula, and her amigurumi friends. How much does this cost? £15, so it's not cheap, but amazing. So there we go, that's my new thing. So I've shown you, a bit sad, I've shown you my crochet thing, I've shown you my knitting thing, and I've shown you my new thing. We've sat together. Please help yourself to all those breakfast pastries. Don't leave them with me, otherwise I will eat them. The husband went to the community cafe yesterday and came back with an apple turnover. That was yum. I don't think we've got anything exciting planned today. As I say, I think it'd be nice to go for a walk. Just because it's sunny and it's the first day for ages where it actually looks like it'll be warm enough to walk around, perhaps without the coat. What? That would be nice. Yeah. So this has been lovely. Thank you so much for coming along and sitting with me. while I knitted on my yarn chat. Looks like it's close, but it's not. There's plenty of distance away from the naked flame. Smells great in here. Yeah, this has been lovely. Let's do this again. Bye.